So we have during this time of the year, the spring or fall, we have 1 or 2 field trips a day that come out to the farm. They come out in their yellow school bus or their van, and they get off, and we introduce them to, in most cases, the first farmer that they've ever met. And from that beginning, we walk them around in this 2-acre space, which is kind of the core of the farm, and introduce them to 14 different living systems, from bees and worms to fungi and parsley to goats and chickens, and just talk about what all of these things are and how they all connect with one another into a larger living space, and how all of these things that are here are transferable to students' communities, their schools, and their neighborhoods. And then after we've tasted and we've talked and we've touched, the other main component of the field trips, the other main ingredient, is what we call meaningful work. And this is something that puts our younger field trip students in a place of contributing meaningfully to the larger farm to school effort, because they can't go down and sit in Tony's office and make policy decisions with him. They'll be doing that in 20 years, and they'll be doing a beautiful job of it. But today, they can put their hands in the soil and make this experience real for their peers. So we usually spend 45 minutes to an hour doing whatever the work of that day is, be it mulching or planting seeds, or these transplants were planted by students on a field trip. These transplants will go back into schools, to schoolyard gardens. So that's the real dynamic of the field trip experience: is exposure, awareness, infatuation, good taste, and knowing that you can have fun while you're working together, creating something that's extraordinarily valuable with very little investment other than your good intention and a little bit of sweat. Almost every teacher that calls us for a field trip, at some point in that 5-minute conversation, talks about how they're unsure about how their students are going to react. And we say we've had over 2,000 students out in the past 12 months. It's a great experience for them. Well, our students, one thing or another. And that's from the very beginning. And at first that would throw me off, because I would think, oh man, are we setting these young people up to come out and run like banshees and not really take away what they could walk away from here with? And every time the students come out and respond as well as you could possibly hope to somebody walking into a place that's very foreign and is assuming that they're going to step up and take responsibility for it. They look eye to eye with goats, and every single thank you note that we've gotten, bar maybe 1 or 2 outliers from 1,000, says thank you for letting us meet the goats in some fashion. I mean, 5 goats that we got for free that we have to clear our site have made an impact on every one of those students, just standing eye to eye with them. And they walk around, and students that wouldn't otherwise, in many cases, confront spinach on a plate or savor it, if they did, will pick spinach that another student has planted and eat it, and they'll have this big experience of, ooh, that's gross, and I like it. And this whole dynamic conversation about what this new thing is. And it's amazing, the thing that really strikes me every time, the pieces that they're already deeply aware of. They understand things. We had a student one time to me when I was talking about the trees that fall down that we inoculate with shiitake mushrooms in the woods. Maybe a 9-year-old in a elementary school class tell me that we could also burn those trees and make charcoal, and that charcoal has been used historically to fertilize fields from Central America to the Caucasus. That's a deep understanding of a process, but that same student had never eaten a carrot. And so they have the understanding of pieces, and we just want to make sure that when they leave here, there's no way that they can't understand how all of those pieces connect very intimately to them and their space, in their school, and in their community.